May this video be a spark of light and guidance on your path. Together, we can create a chain of love that permeates all dimensions of existence.
When disembodiment happens, naturally every being moves towards this river. River is a stream of energy. Suppose you do Kala Bhairava Shanti, all the related people will benefit from that. If one dissolves in the river, you become that energy. If you cross, you go to another realm where beings will hang on. See, in my personal experience, when you leave the body, depending upon what level of evolution you are in, how thin or thick your casing is, accordingly things happen. If something is, let us say, your casing or your bubble is too thick, it cannot break, it will go to the river and bounce back. What is the river? River is a stream of energy. A kind of energy which is neither life nor death, but a completely different kind of energy, which, for lack of words, we can say a kind of energy which saves you, dissolves you, so it is called as Vaitarani in Indian tradition. Vaitarani means it is a savior, one who is good at saving you. So what is the saving? It is not a physical river, it's a metaphorical expression, but there is a stream of energy. When disembodiment happens, naturally every being moves towards this river. Some will bounce back, some will soak in it, some will easily cross it. Some just dissolve right there. Well, if you bounce back, one will have a rebirth. If one dissolves in the river, you become that energy. If you cross, you go to another realm where beings will hang on. Depending upon the nature of who they are, what their qualities are, what is the dominant quality, that will play. If they're very joyful, they will become ecstatic. They're miserable, they become very miserable. Like this is being normally referred to as hell and heaven, but essentially what's happened is, your quality, because you have no discriminatory mind, it gets exaggerated. So if somebody crossed the river or somebody bounced back, these two people you can help. If they have bounced back or if they've still not crossed the river, let's not say bounce back, they've still not crossed the river, now you do Kala Bhairava karma. Now they might have, you don't know for sure, they might have crossed the river, but still because of the thickness of their shell and their own attitudes, they may be going through this in an unpleasant manner. You want to bring some pleasantness, you want to bring some shanti to them. So you want to shave off one layer of their nonsense, whatever, maybe some unpleasantness will go away and pleasantness will happen. This is all the effort that you're making. If they're already pleasant, you still want to shave off one layer so that they will cease altogether. As unpleasantness is a bondage, pleasantness is also a bondage. Unfortunately, with pleasantness, people take more time to realize that it's a bondage. With unpleasantness, very easily you realize it's a bondage. So, you're trying to bring some pleasantness, but for sure you don't know. Maybe your grandfather or whoever else has already dissolved, maybe there's nothing to do. You don't know, but you still do as a duty so that in case he needs it. In case somebody else… See, this is… once you do this work, this is not only individual, because there is a certain runanabandha which connects people. Suppose you do Kala Bhairava Shanti for your grandfather, but he doesn't need it, he's already gone. Now, your grandfather's brother may be there, whom you don't care about, but he may benefit. So people connected with that kind of runanabandha may get helped. Somebody else who is not even your relative may get helped. So, this has been kept as a culture that you must keep doing Kala Bhairava Shanti. So, Shanti is done more as a kind of an effort. If any help is needed, we want to provide that for our ancestors, for our forefathers, or our grandfathers, or fathers, or mothers, or whoever. It doesn't matter whether your ancestors are hanging around there or not, we don't know. Maybe they've dissolved, maybe they've attained to mukti, maybe they're come back and reborn and again, it doesn't matter what, you keep doing it so that all the related people will benefit from that. Pitru Paksha means… Pitru means doesn't just mean your father or your grandfather. Everybody who is the source of our existence is our Pitru. So you want that to happen to all the people connected. It doesn't matter, we like them, we didn't like them, we knew them, we did not know them, but all related people to whom we can do something, we do something. He fell ill, but they couldn't figure out what is wrong with him. Then he saw a man with a very long face, in great misery and angst. A one-pointed mind is something that nobody can stop. If you want to evolve above the intellect, it needs a conscious effort. 500 years ago, there was a city of my forefathers who were kings in that area. This city was the richest city on the planet 500 years ago. Please look it up, it's called Hampi. And suddenly one day Krishna Deva Raya fell ill. That was the king's name. He fell ill. And physicians came and examined him in many ways, but they couldn't figure out what is wrong with him. But he was sinking away. Nearly at the doors of death, then he called for his friend and advisor, whose name was Tenali Ramakrishna. Tenali came, and he's no physician, he didn't know what to do. So the king sought his help, but he doesn't know what to do, he's not a physician. So confused, he walked away into the town and he was walking around in the marketplace. Then he saw a man with a very long face, in great misery and angst. Then Ali went up to him, "Hey, what's wrong? Why are you looking like this?" He said, "I am in the sandalwood business. Because a large stock was available somewhere, I took a huge debt and bought this entire sandalwood. Now if I don't sell quickly, I will be finished. People who have lent me money are not going to leave me alive. The only way I can sell this sandalwood is the king must die. When kings died, always the cremation was done with sandalwood. Nobody else can afford it. So he said, unless the king dies, I'm finished. Tenali looked at him, the intensity of his misery and angst. He said, wait a minute. He went home, got the money and he bought all the sandalwood. The man was very happy and the king recovered. It's not a joke. You must understand, in moments of anger, in moments of hatred, in moments of fear and angst, your mind becomes one-pointed. A one-pointed mind is something that nobody can stop. Right now, everybody is in this mode, can't point at anything. Because of that is one big confusion. If you have a one-pointed mind, there is nothing which can stop that. This was one of the important aspects of Gautama's expression, that he brought this into people's lives. You can take charge of your life if you take charge of your mind. I'm asking you also, if you take charge of your psychological process, you being blissful, is it a challenge? You're trying to take charge of somebody else's mind. One day, Shankaran Pillai and his wife went to the marriage counselor. So Shankaran Pillai introduced and said, we really have a wonderful marriage because we have such a fantastic partnership, and I'm the silent one. So this whole process of rising above the mind, which means a Buddha, becoming a Buddha, you must understand that's not his name is Gautama Siddhartha. Buddha is a state. That means if you're above your intellect, you're a Buddha. If you're in the intellect, you're a non-stop suffering human being. If you're below the intellect, we can call you a Buddhu. So, as evolution, as creatures, we were below the intellect. Slowly, we evolved into the intellect. Now if you want to evolve above the intellect, it needs a conscious effort. Don't wait for Mother Earth to do it for you. It may happen after 1,000,000 years, but you won't be there. You should download an app that we have, it's a free app, anybody can download, it's called Sadhguru app. Here there is a practice called Isha Kriya. This is a simple way of bringing awareness to what is your body and what is you, what is your mind and what is you. Once there is a tiny little bit of space between you and your body, between you and your mind, this is the end of suffering. Maybe there is a little bit of an element of truth in it somewhere. If an alien comes, it's such a fantastic thing. Something absolutely new entered our life. Human beings have always been doing incredible things, but they never got the media.
I read some theories about all gods are aliens. We had lots of good technology and tools with them long back. What's your thought about it? Thank you.
Because normally when you say God, people will look up, so they must be aliens. Obviously not residing on this planet, so they must be aliens. I know theories and theories are going around. Anything that you cannot explain that's happened on this planet, you want to invent a fantastic story that somebody else must have come and done this. I'm not saying that is not at all possible either, but I think 95% of it is just loose imagination. There is a 5% element of truth to it. I cannot deny it after having been to Manasarovar and Kailash. It's a living confrontation. It's a living encounter, so I cannot deny it, but everything that you cannot explain thinking that somebody else from somewhere came and did this, this is an ancient problem continuing till today. If you don't know how something happened in your life, it must be him who did it. You know, somebody else is always responsible for all the things that we don't know how. I think it's 95% conjecture. Maybe there is a little bit of an element of truth in it somewhere, maybe. But instead of going off into these fanciful thoughts and philosophies and belief systems that you start seeing aliens floating around in your cities, when they come and introduce themselves, till they come and introduce themselves, that they come, stand here and say, Sadhguru, this is me, I have come from Mars. Till then, we can ignore them. Really. Till then, you can ignore them. Because I know you've been watching Hollywood movies and they're going to come and attack you and you have to prepare right now. You have to build an army to fight the aliens. Somebody is making money on building this fanciful thought in your head. Even you have to fight wars with stars? I thought you could do something better. I thought you could do at least something better outside this planet. You're not able to settle your prejudices and, anger and hatred we have generated against people. If you are not able to drop it, I thought at least with aliens could welcome them and have a party with them. But no, with stars also wars. I don't think so. If an alien comes, it's such a fantastic thing. Something absolutely new entered our life, there may be so much gossip. Huh? And you could share so many things, your insights into the local juice, and they may have their juice. It could be a fantastic interaction. Anyway, you're talking about they came and built this, they came and built the pyramids, they came and built the Mayan temples, they came and built the Indian Kailash temple, it's going on. In India, there's a temple called the Kailash temple, where this was not built, it was cut into a mountain from the top, okay? They took out some 4 million tons of rock. I want you to understand what I'm saying. It's like, let's say this entire thing was a rock and we carved this hall out of that rock, okay? Like this, they carved out a temple which is 3 floors with elaborate carvings and from the top. It's very difficult for any sculptor to work from the top down, okay? But they worked sculptures like this, hundreds of stone images and 3 floors of temple. It is one of the most incredible things that human beings have done on this planet. I don't want to give away the credit to the aliens. When I first visited this Kailash temple, I felt proud of being a human being. Because 4 generations of people, 135 years, maybe 5 generations or 6 generations of people, 135 years, they worked to the same plan, okay? Just with hammer and chisel, 4 million tons of rock was removed and they built a temple. Nothing was built, everything was carved out of the mountain, not this way, from the top down. It is the most incredible piece of engineering and craftsmanship that human beings have displayed on the planet. When I went there, my chest swelled. There's so many things that human beings are doing that we should feel ashamed of. But there are many things they have done that we can be really proud of. I don't want to give away credit to the aliens. No human beings did it. Human beings have always been doing incredible things, but they never got the media. Only those who did horrible things got the media. Even today, isn't it? So, it doesn't matter who did it, aliens did it, human beings did it. What the hell are we doing as a generation of people is very important. Are we going to create something in this world where future generations will look back and say, wow, these 21st generation people did such fantastic things? Something that will make them proud of being human, not ashamed of being human. Let's do something like that.
We hope this video has been a source of inspiration for you. Be sure to check out our other content and share your wisdom with the world.